We'll begin with some big news that we are getting for you as far as the G20 Leaders Summit is concerned. That's currently underway in Johannesburg, and India has proposed a G20 initiative on countering the drug terror nexus. India has proposed a G20 global healthcare response team to deal with health emergencies and natural disasters. So these are some key initiatives that have been proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, representing the country at the G20 Leaders Summit. Let's go across to my colleague Srinjoy Chaudhary, who is joining us live right now for more on this. Srinjoy, good afternoon. Can you bring us up to speed with the initiatives that have been proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and what's happening there as we speak?
As far as terror is concerned, the Prime Minister and the Indian government, of course, is very, very convinced that terrorism has to be stopped. And there are really two links with terrorism that have to be worked out. The first, as the Prime Minister has said, is narco-terrorism. The people who are dealing in drugs and selling drugs and making money from it are also investing that money in terrorism. So this link has to be broken, and that's precisely what the Prime Minister has been saying. Also, we will hear further down the road about links with financing of terror. That's something that will come up later in the future, in the next day or so, about how the financing of terrorism can be stopped. So that is really the Prime Minister's message. The links between terrorism and drugs and the links between illegal money and terrorism have to be stopped. And if that can be done, it will be much easier for India, much easier for the world. And let's not forget that Operation Sindoor didn't take place that long ago. It was just a few months ago. And theoretically, Operation Sindoor continues. So, clear message from India: terrorism has to end and narco-terrorism has to end. That's really the bottom line at this G20 so far.
Very interesting development there. And also, Srinjoy, we saw some interesting visuals coming in from Johannesburg as well. In fact, South African president, we saw, greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi with Namaste. This particular G20 summit is also very, very important because it's the first time that the Leaders Summit is being hosted on the African continent. We know the kind of role India has really played during its presidency, to push the agenda of the global south, and also the theme this time is very interesting.
Yes, you look at the last 4 G20s, Indonesia, India, Brazil, and now South Africa. And as you rightly said, this one is the first one, the first G20 in Africa. And yes, the Americans are, but very significantly, Prime Minister has spoken about sustainable development, the efforts to health infrastructure all over the world, and to ensure that Africa is not left behind. All of this is a clear message to the world that we have to do something to increase GNP figures, GDP figures out of Africa, and not just 1 or 2 countries, but all countries. So this is a big message that comes up. Health, sustainable development, climate change, the fight against narco, and also illegal financing of terrorism.
Right.
All this will come up during the Prime Minister.
Right. Another important aspect as far as this G20 Leaders Summit, Srinjoy, is concerned is the United States of America, the absence rather of US President Donald Trump. Now, we know that President Trump has decided to boycott Africa's first G20 summit. But we know that next year the presidency goes to the United States of America. The handover happens from here. So who's going to be there? Because I believe, as per White House press secretary, nobody from the United States of America is going to be present at this summit.
Yes, you're right. The next one will be in America. The whole process will start again. It will be, in some senses, the 21st G20 summit. Now, the question is, this has become a G19, and it has become a G19 primarily for the wrong reasons. Because President Trump believes, probably not correctly, that at this point there are attacks on whites in South Africa, the Afrikaners. Now, this is largely untrue, says the South African government. Now, if that is so, then the absence of America, the biggest economy in the world, is certainly significant. And this is something even South Africa. But they've said that 99% of G20 is supporting us. And that's a great bet.
All right. Srinjoy, appreciate you joining us with your inputs on this story. We'll, of course, be coming back to you for the latest as far as G20 Summit this time in South Africa is concerned. Let's now move on. And viewers, let's shift our focus to the